top-rated North Carolina Tar Heels host the Tigers 12-4 from LSU. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire. It's always special. Only 2 unbeaten major college teams left. A ball impressive win over UCLA yesterday. North Carolina beat Georgia Tech here yesterday. And North Carolina, you don't stop just one man when you face the Tar Heels.
Well, you got the Gold Dust Twins. They get you from inside to outside. Sometimes they drift in the game, Dick, but they're always double trouble. They'll get you.
Michael Jordan and Sam Perkins, the first team to have 2 All-Americans on its club since Indiana in '76, May and Benson. All right, LSU has Leonard Mitchell. He's one of their all-time scorers and rebounders.
Well, he's not truly a center. Dale Brown never had a true center. He'll knock it down from 15 feet out. He's quick off the glass. He's like a gazelle up and down the court.
The pressure may be on Dean Smith's North Carolina team. Everyone wants to beat number 1. You heard Dale Brown. He wants to cut down the banners. Forget about the pass. We'll meet the starting lineups. Carolina, LSU, in a moment.
First for the Tigers of LSU. At forward, number 24, 6'7" senior from St. Martinville, Louisiana, Leonard Mitchell. At forward, number 35, a 6'8" sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, Jerry Reynolds. At center, number 41, a 6'8" freshman from Leesville, Louisiana, Nikita Wilson. At guard, number 10, a 6-foot sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Derek Taylor.
He leads the Tigers in scoring, averaging 16.
And at guard, number 20, 6'6" senior from Pineville, Louisiana, John Tudor. And the coach of the Tigers, Dale Brown.
Brown, who won his 200th career game earlier this year.
At forward, number 44, a 6'8" senior from East Meadow, New York, Matt Doherty. At forward, number 41, a 6'10" senior from Latham, New York, Sam Perkins. At center, number 42, 6'11" sophomore from Black Mountain, North Carolina, Brad Doherty. At guard, number 30, a 6'2" freshman from the Queens, New York, Kenny Smith. At guard, number 23, 6'5" junior from Wilmington, North Carolina, Michael Jordan.
Prime time.
And the coach of the Tar Heels,
Dean Smith. As Brown has won his 200th game this season, Smith is now over 500 victories. Now in his 23rd year here in Chapel Hill. North Carolina unbeaten number 1 at LSU in just a moment.
If you're pouring
Time within 24. LSU of the first half will be moving to the north goal away from the Tar Heel bench, coming to the south goal right in front of the Tar Heel bench in the second half. It'll be Leonard Mitchell jumping it with Sam Perkins to start the game. Mitchell, a 6'7" senior. Sam is a 6'10" senior. Ball is in the air, tapped and thrown in the backcourt to LSU, and it was a booming tap by Mitchell deep into his own backcourt. Carolina's open man-to-man. It's Tudor working against Michael Jordan. Pass underneath to Mitchell. Fake up for the shot, and he walked with it, and that turns it over to Carolina. First turnover of the ball game for the Tigers, and you heard Dale Brown say prior to the game, we cannot get into a rash of turnovers due to Carolina's pressure defense. Carolina will inbound the ball at the far end of the bench, right from former manager Greg Miles. Jordan inbounds the ball to Kenny Smith. Smith with Taylor on him, gets it across the timeline. We'll get the man-to-man set up for you in a moment. Perkins at the right wing now, holding high against Mitchell. Comes to Doherty, who works against Reynolds. To Jordan. Jordan up off the glass, went underneath, threw it back up from the right side. He caught it on the left, went underneath the basket, had to throw it up from the right, and the darn thing went in. 2-0 in the first 30 seconds. Nikita Wilson double-teamed in the corner. Doherty knocks it away. He and Jordan battle for it, and it got knocked over the in-line out of bounds. It'll belong to LSU, but Henry, that's a suffocating double-team.
No question about it. Carolina's defense is going to be a big key in this game, and I don't think LSU's seen a team this year, Woody, that plays the defense that they probably do.
Far pass intercepted by Jordan. Second turnover coming down against Tudor. Short jumper off the glass. 4-0. 19:15 to play in the first half. Taylor against Kenny Smith. Jordan watching Tudor. Perkins now fronting Mitchell right of the lane. Pass goes across to Tudor. My goodness, listen to this crowd. Taylor, jump shot. Off the front of the rim. Tapped around. Knocked out front. It'll be recovered by Taylor near the center jump circle. LSU retains possession. Tigers are down 4. Taylor will drive down left of the circle. Can't get through. High lob to Reynolds. Reynolds up for the shot. Foul by Jordan, and Reynolds converts. Jerry Reynolds, the sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, who was the Big Apple Player of the Year out of Alexander Hamilton his senior year in high school. He'll have a chance for the three-point play. Carolina has picked up its first team foul, and it's number 1 on Michael Jordan.
Nice feed from Derek Taylor. He is a very good assist man, Woody, and that's going to be an interesting matchup this afternoon between Kenny Smith and Derek Taylor. Two extremely quick players, and that's going to be interesting to watch how Kenny Smith will react. I don't know if Kenny really played anybody that's quite as quick as Taylor is today.
Reynolds, who originally started his career at Wisconsin, but left there when Bill Cofield, the former Virginia assistant, resigned, makes his free throw on the three-point play, and it's 4-3. Full court pressure on the zone press by LSU, but Carolina gets it front court without much trouble. Jordan coming off the left baseline, and he walked with it. According to Sonny Holmes, and so that will turn the ball over to LSU. Dale Brown talking to his guards, in particular John Tudor, as he goes front court. Taylor gets caught in the double team, trying to get out of it. Bounces it now to Tudor in the center jump circle. Tudor bounces it down the sideline to Mitchell on the right. Jump shot over Brad Daugherty is no good. Perkins has got the rebound. He had 12 in yesterday's game. He feeds it ahead to Kenny Smith. Tried to get it to Matt Daugherty. Knocked out by Reynolds. Reynolds said he thought it went out off Daugherty, but Don Ferguson, who was right on top of the play, does not agree. So it'll be Carolina's ball. 4-3. Heels lead it by 1. 18-16 left to play in the first half. Brad Daugherty coming now to Matt Daugherty. Daugherty working against Reynolds. Gets it now to Brad Daugherty with Wilson on him. Inside to Perkins. Thrown a little high. Sam couldn't hold it. Deflected to Taylor. Second turnover for the Tar Heels. Taylor on the lead to Reynolds. Reynolds coming in on the left. Puts it up off the glass. No good. Tap follows no good, but Reynolds follows up on the left, and it's good. So Reynolds has got all 5 of LSU's points. Jordan has all 4 of Carolina's points. LSU takes the lead at 5-4 after Carolina had broken on top 4-0. Perkins on the right side. Daugherty, we got a whistle off the ball, and the foul has been called, I believe, on Reynolds, who was holding Jordan at the baseline. Foul on Reynolds is his first. It'll be the first team foul against the Tigers of LSU, and Carolina will get the ball out of bounds at the baseline.
Jerry Reynolds is the guy they call ice. He doesn't get as much recognition as some of his teammates, but he's a good player. He's drawn Michael Jordan of the defensive assignment right now, and that's a tough job for anybody, but Reynolds is a good defensive player.
LSU switched its zone. Alley-oop to Jordan for the dunk. You could see it coming from our perch high atop the west stands, but the LSU defense didn't have that advantage. Blocking foul called on Jordan. It's 2 on Michael, and Taylor's holding his right knee as he goes to the ground. Now what this is going to mean, if Dean Smith follows his pattern with Jordan picking up 2 personal fouls, he has normally brought him to the bench in situations like this for a long sit-down, and he's discussing the situation right now with Bill Guthridge and Eddie Fogler. What do we do? Do we sit him down or let him keep playing? He's in the ball game. Taylor drives baseline, throws up a Hail Mary that didn't go in. Brad Daugherty got a hand on it, but could not control it. Brad knew he needed to catch that ball, but he just couldn't put 2 hands on it. Taylor will inbound for LSU. Tigers lead it 6-5. Now Carolina's in front, 6-5 on Jordan's alley-oop pass a moment ago. Tudor jumps, no, feeds low to Mitchell. Mitchell up for the layup, wouldn't go. Tap follows no good. Perkins took it off the front of the rim. Dale Brown, I think it wanted a goaltending call, and Kenny Smith drives right through the LSU defense to score at the other end of the floor. Brown might have a good argument. It looked like the ball was laying on the front of the rim when Big Sam went up and got it. Cross-court pass, 8-5. Tudor drives left, lays it up from the lane, won't go, rolls off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Smith. Smith, look away to Jordan, coming in on the right. To Matt Daugherty, layup, reverse is good. It's 10-5. Dale Brown needs an official timeout. He doesn't want to waste one of his own. He's only got 3. He's telling his Tigers, settle down, be cool, be calm, be collected. 10-5, 16:35 left to play in the first half. Tudor comes out of the double team on the left. Hits Taylor open, 20 feet, got it. 10-7. Derek Taylor knocks in his first field goal. 16:25, the clock running down in the first half. Kenny Smith against Derek Taylor across the timeline. Dean Smith calling Steve Hale off the Carolina bench. No LSU substitutions at the moment. Pass intended for Daugherty, slapped away by Reynolds into the Tiger bench. It'll still be Carolina's ball, but Dale Brown applauds the defensive effort of Jerry Reynolds.
The tempo of the ballgame right now would tend to favor Carolina. LSU is a fast ball club. They probably play a little faster pace than Carolina does, Woody, but they play it sometimes under control. That's been their problem all year. They can play a very fast tempo game, but at times they actually get ahead of themselves, and right now that appears to be happening a bit.
Steve Hale from Jinx, Oklahoma. Joe Wolf from Kohler, Wisconsin have come into the lineup now as Daugherty and Jordan are sitting down. Kenny Smith to Perkins, and from behind, Leonard Mitchell fouls him.
Leonard picks up personal number 1. It'll be the second team foul against the Tigers. You know, Henry, we've talked what a great athlete Mitchell is, and certainly he is, but, you know, last year at the Garden, he went only 1 for 6 from the floor and had 3 rebounds, so in Carolina's 47-43 victory, he was not much of a factor at all. I said Garden, I meant to say Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. LSU in the zone now as Carolina has around the perimeter. Alley-oop intercepted. Mitchell. Perkins went over his back. And that'll be personal number 1 on Perkins, the third team foul against Carolina. The Tar Heels have turned it over now 3 times. Dale Brown is looking to the scores table, wanting to know exactly when that official timeout's going to go. And Marvin Skeeter Francis, assistant to the commissioner in the conference, tells him after 16 minutes, Coach. First dead ball after 16 minutes. That's when you'll get it. Taylor from the foul line, off the front of the rim. Wolf with the rebound. Somebody was over his back, and it looked to be Damon Vance who's come to the ball game, but no foul. Carolina at the other end. Doherty, short shot, recovered. Perkins put it up too strong. They battle for it. Sam kept it alive off the glass. Back up, short, tapped up, no good. They crash the boards again. Sam controls, started up, knocked away, recovered Reynolds. 10-7, Carolina crowd booing. They thought there should have been a foul, and Reynolds throws it away from Mitchell. He fumbled that ball momentarily just before passing it, threw it away. Now Dale Brown gets his official timeout.
This bus for you, for being on the job and working hard all day.
Fatigue could be a factor toward the end of the ball game, but both of these clubs haven't played the last 48 hours. 10-7 our score, 15:34 left to play in the half. Joe Wolf will sit down as Carolina returns to the floor. The Heels will send back Michael Jordan, Brad Doherty, Sam Perkins, Kenny Smith, and Steve Hale. Matt Doherty will also join Wolf on the bench. Dean Smith talking to his offense a little bit on the floor. Dale Brown still has his team around him. You'll want to stay tuned at halftime. Simon Terrell and Charlie Adams will be with Henry Hinton in our booth, and we're getting a few of the stars of Carolina past together that we're going to try to talk to, so stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to being with those guys. Yesterday in the dressing room after games, I told Coach Smith I had a chance to visit more with Bill Ford, and Mitch Kupchak was there, and that's one of the truly great comeback stories in the history of sports. Someday, if that young man's career goes right, they'll make a movie about that. Woody, Carolina hit the first 5 shots before that last flurry where they were just throwing them up trying to get a tip in. They're 5 for 8, 63% for the Heels. LSU 3 for 11, 27%. 15.5 minutes to play as Kenny Smith gets it across the timeline. LSU is man-to-man defense. Bounce pass comes away now. Damon Vance is in for Nikita Wilson for LSU, the first Tiger substitute. And it comes to Perkins low post, back to Kenny Smith. Jumper 15 feet, no good. They battle for the rebound, got a whistle, and the foul is called on Brad Doherty of Carolina. Pushing off inside, it'll be number 1 on the Black Mountain sophomore, and the 4th team foul against Carolina. LSU will get the ball at the baseline. 10-7, Heels have a 3-point lead here in Chapel Hill. Inbounds from Tudor to Taylor. Kenny Smith has him defensively. Hale is on Tudor. Michael Jordan looking after Reynolds. Brad Doherty guarding Vance. Perkins has got Mitchell. Layup, Tudor. Good pass to Tudor, breaking in on the left, and LSU back within 1. Lead pass to Jordan coming down at the other end. Double, scooped it. I thought he was going for the shot, and he dropped it off to Brad Doherty. Went right by 2 defenders. I think they thought he was going to shoot. He dropped it to Doherty. Doherty had an easy layup left side. 12-9 Carolina. Taylor working right of the circle now with Kenny Smith on him. Goes to Vance. Jump shot 15 feet over the top of the rim. Bounds around on the back. Tap volley is good by Mitchell. Leonard Mitchell gets the tap in. 12-11 Carolina. Kenny Smith against Taylor. Cross the timeline on the right. Down inside the hash mark he goes. Picks up his dribble. Comes down to Perkins, top of the circle against Leonard Mitchell. Now to Brad Doherty working against Vance. Vance tightens up on him. We got a whistle. That was ridiculous on Vance's part. He was playing him out in the open court. There was nobody within 10 feet of him. Vance tightened up on his defense, actually bumped him with a body. Does he think he can get away with that? Evidently. 12-11. Vance picks up his first personal foul. It'll be the 3rd team foul. Carolina will get the ball along the east sideline. Steve Hale will pull the trigger on it. Gets it into Kenny Smith. Smith goes inside to Brad Doherty. Back to Steve Hale from out of the right corner. Count it. Steve Hale's first bucket. 14-11, Carolina. Taylor against Kenny Smith. Comes to the left of the circle. Bounce pass away to Vance. Vance's jump shot is good. Damon Vance makes it 14-13. Heel lead is back to 1. Kenny Smith picked up by Taylor across the timeline. Don Redden getting ready to come in for the Tigers. He drops it away to Sam Perkins. Now it comes to Brad Daugherty, over to Kenny Smith. Almost knocked away. Smith recovers, pushes it back to Hale. Inside to Perkins. Jump hook. Good. 16-13. Sam Perkins' first field goal. 13:40 left to play in the first half. Across the timeline now comes Derek Taylor. Taylor driving to the left of the circle to Tudor. Jump shot, left corner. Good by John Tudor, senior from Pineville, Louisiana. 16-15, a 1-point LSU lead, or Carolina lead over LSU. Smith across the timeline on the right. Works to the hash mark of the right sideline. Keeps the left hand dribble alive. Comes now across the top of the circle. Hits Jordan. Jordan started to take Tudor to the baseline. Pulls up. Goes to Brad Daugherty. Standing left of the circle at the high post to Kenny Smith. Low to Perkins. Intercepted by Reynolds for LSU. LSU with a chance to take the lead. Lead to Tudor. Driving layup. Good. 17-16 in favor of the Tigers. And Tudor has got 6 of LSU's 17 points. Kenny Smith across the timeline now, working to the left. Turns, goes back to the right. Taylor on him. Goes to Hale. Knocked away by Reynolds. Reynolds on the drive. Smith to try to stop him, and he lays it up. 19-16. LSU out to a 3-point lead. Its biggest margin of the game, and Reynolds has got 7 points. 12:40 left to play in the half. Buzz Peterson getting ready to come in. Here's Hale to Michael Jordan. Goes inside to Brad Daugherty. Short jumper off the baseline. Too strong. Reynolds with a rebound on the right. He clears it away to Taylor. Taylor timeline left side for the gold-shirted Tigers. So Mitchell back out front. It comes to Tudor. Tudor looks back inside against Hale. Moves to the left. Quickly back out front to Taylor. 12:15 to play in the half. Tudor, left wing. High lob to Mitchell for the dunk. Or Reynolds rather. Jerry Reynolds gets his 9th point, and it's 21-16. LSU has run off 6 unanswered points.
And they have outscored Carolina 10-2 since the 14:05 mark, Woody.
Beg your pardon, it's 8 unanswered points. That's right. 11:55 to play in the first half. Hale working to the right. Goes to Jordan. Back to Hale. Hale drops it off to Perkins. Jump shot, 20 feet. No good. Bounce strong. Sam follows his own shot. Drives, puts it up. Too strong. Tapped to keep alive. And it's Tudor and Reynolds who come away with it for LSU. Reynolds drops it away now to Taylor. Dale Brown wants the tempo slowed down just a little bit, with his Tigers looking at a 5-point lead and 11:30 to play in the first half. Reynolds goes now to Vance. Vance on the drive to the right. Blocked away. Perkins. Controlled by Hale. Hale knocked down. And Taylor comes up with it. Here's Taylor taking it the other way. Lays it up and it's good, but there's a foul. Offensive foul with a bucket count. Let's see. I don't believe so. Call was made by Sonny Holmes. Let's see if the basket counts. Carolina staff trying to help Sonny wave it off. No basket. Foul on Taylor is his first. 4th team foul against LSU. And right now, another official timeout has been called as Dale Brown argues the takeaway of the basket in front of the scorer's table with 11:18 to play in the half. Timeout on the floor with the score. LSU 21, Carolina 16.
Your Kemper representative.
Was he concerned about the fact that he thought there should have been a goaltending call on Sam Perkins, but when Taylor drove the board against Brad Daugherty, he's complaining also to Don Rutledge, one of the officials, that it was a poor call on his part. But it looked like, Woody, that it probably was Taylor's arm clearing out Brad Daugherty as he went to the board, the reason the foul was called. Shooting stats right now, the Tar Heels 8 for 15, LSU 10 for 20, 53% for the Heels, 50 for LSU.
Joe Wolf is also in the Carolina lineup at the moment with Buzz Peterson. Peterson handling it on the left side, and I'm sure the Tigers remember that young man from a year ago. 9 of 9 in the second half at the Meadowlands. Steve Hale against John Tudor. Got to get rid of it. Got it to Matt Daugherty. They are using the 45-second shot clock today, because the Southeastern Conference does that as well. Here's Hale, top of the circle, over to Buzz Peterson. Bounces it low to Perkins. Jump hook off the baseline. Good. Sam Perkins with 2 field goals, and it's 21-18. LSU's lead is 3. Taylor picked up at the timeline by Hale. Now comes Peterson in the double team. Away it goes to Tudor right in front of the Tar Heel bench. He's caught in the double team. Down the sideline to Mitchell. Mitchell jump shot 15 feet. No good. Bounds around. Perkins has got the rebound. Looks for the outlet. Gets it to Hale. Hale will get it across the timeline, right down the right sideline to Matt Daugherty. Jump shot 15 feet. Wouldn't go. Rebound pulled down by Mitchell of the Tigers. Away to Tudor. Tudor across the timeline now on the left. LSU in gold uniforms going to the south goal here in the first half. Tudor at the wing against Peterson, driving into the middle. Flips it back now to Mitchell. He delivers it away to a new Tiger who's in the ball game, and that would be Don Redden. The layup is no good. Rebound recovered, and it's finally Redden who goes up and puts it in. The 6'6" sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana. 23-18, 5-point lead. Matt Doherty coming the other way. Down in the corner. Inside to Wolf. Ball knocked away, and it'll belong to Carolina. Looked like Vance might have gone over Wolf's back, but no call on the play, and Dean Smith up off the Tar Heel bench shaking his head, and he's probably wondering the same thing. Why no whistle? Dale Brown wants his number one defense. LSU has been mixing its defense pretty much between a man, a zone. It's back to the man now. Peterson to inbound the ball. Got it to Matt Doherty right at the hash mark on the right. To Perkins in the midcourt area. Now to Hale. Hale, who works against the LSU defense, goes to Perkins now on the left side. To Peterson to Matt Doherty. Matt turns. Fires. Good. Matt Doherty, turnaround jump shot. 10 feet away on the right. Johnny Bullet Jones is now in the LSU lineup at one of the guards, and he's handling the ball at the moment. 23-20. Tigers by 3. Caught in the double team is Tudor. Tudor away with it. Save. Perkins. Pass to Hale. And Hale runs over Jones, and it's a charging foul on Hale. Hale whistle for his first. It'll be the 5th team foul against Carolina. Tudor had thrown the ball away, had it intercepted by Perkins. Perkins then fed it to Hale. Jones was standing right at the timeline. Hale couldn't get turned around. The defensive man was there. 23-20.
Jones is so quick when he can make defensive moves like that, and you saw how quick he was to get there to make that play.
High lob to Mitchell. Layup miss. Perkins controls it. The ball hit on the baseline, and the official has again missed it. It's Carolina's ball. Now, before the game started, Sam Perkins went over to talk to the officials when they were meeting at midcourt about the baseline, how the Carolina blue paint in the free throw lane does not go all the way to the baseline, that actually what you see there as the wooden floor is actually in bounds. It's only when it becomes solid blue again is it out of bounds. Now, the ball hit there. I think we may see that these floors in the lanes painted before this season's over. That's the second straight day a call's been missed like that, but the officials corrected themselves. Doherty open 20 feet. Got it. 23-22. Carolina back within one with 8:45 to play in the half. Johnny Jones picked up by Kenny Smith, who's back in the lineup. Jones moving down the left. Crowd trying to be a factor. Jones kicks it away out of bounds. It'll be Carolina's ball. Turnover number 7 for LSU in the first half. Hale replaces Peterson in the Carolina lineup. Perkins will pull the trigger on the inbounds play. Man-to-man defense for the Tigers. Kenny Smith against Johnny Jones. Works across the timeline to the left. Now his dribble will take him to the right side of the midcourt. Comes back now to Wolf at the wing. Look to Doherty. Goes to Perkins. High post. Smith breaking back door. Layup good. Carolina back in front. And there's a foul on the play. Sonny Holmes coming out with a foul call, and it's on Johnny Jones. He got caught with a backdoor play, and then he fouls Kenny Smith as he makes the layup.
What the official did not see when Kenny Smith made his cut back to the basket, Holmes actually reached out and grabbed, or rather Taylor reached out and grabbed him, I'm sorry, it was Johnny Jones. Jones was trying to keep him from going to the basket, and he actually slapped Kenny in the face accidentally, so Carolina lucky that foul was not seen.
Smith makes good on the three-point play. He's 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 at the line for 5. It's 25-23. Jones, here comes the double team with Dave Popson in the lineup now, but he got it away to Tudor. Tudor goes down the sideline to Vance. Back it comes to Tudor outside the hash mark. To Derek Taylor, who's in the lineup again for LSU. Driving, feeds Tudor, jump shot, left corner. No good, bounces long, recovered Matt Doherty. Here come the heels on the run, lead to Smith on the left. Kenny will go all the way, pushes it up, won't go. Jordan's there, wouldn't go off the front. Tap follow, no good. Jordan's got it, he follows back up, no good. Brad Doherty's there, lays it up and won't go. Tap follows, no good. Tapped again, won't go. They finally battle for it, and there's a foul called on the play. Brad Doherty picks up his second.
Willie, I think we need to get you a throat lozenge after that exchange.
My goodness. Boy, they were playing volleyball with it off the offensive glass at the north end of the building. 25-23. Foul on Doherty is his second. It's the sixth team foul, and an official timeout's been taken in Chapel Hill. Time's out on the floor. 7:46 to play in the half. With the score, Carolina 25, LSU 23. And his multi-talent is not only a broadcaster in Charlotte, but as a widely read columnist in the Charlotte Observer. I hope he's listening today because, Robert, I want you to know you're very much in our thoughts and prayers. Woody, Carolina 12 for 23, 52%. LSU 11 for 26, 42%. We talked earlier about how LSU not only goes to the offensive board a lot, but Carolina, they're allowing Carolina to go to the offensive board. They're actually averaging 39 rebounds a game as they're giving up almost 37 rebounds a game. So very much playing up to what their normal level on the rebounding game, LSU.
Tar Heels are in the zone now with Dave Popson, the freshman from Ashley, Pennsylvania, in the lineup. Tudor controlling top of the circle. To Mitchell. He'll take the jump shot. No good. Too strong. Tap by Reynolds. Popson battles for it. Reynolds still comes up with it. Tried to scoop it up. No good. We got a whistle. And the foul is on Dave Popson of the Tar Heels. Brad Doherty, hearing the whistle, first shot his hand up into the air, I think thinking the foul might have been on him. But it was not. It's on Dave Popson. His first, the seventh team foul, so LSU goes to the bonus here in the final 7 minutes, 19 seconds of the half. The Tar Heels have run off 9 points to only 2 for LSU to come from 5 down to have this 2-point lead.
Well, Reynolds is going to shoot. He's only shooting 53% from the line, and that's one of LSU's real weaknesses this year, Woody. They are not shooting at all well from the line as a team. They are only 65%, and so down the stretch, that could be a big factor in this ball game.
Well, Reynolds makes his first. He'll have another one coming. He's leading the LSU scoring in the first half. I have him with 10 points. He's made 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Here's the next one, and it's good also. So it's 25-25, score tied. Carolina on the offense now. Kenny Smith controls against Taylor. Across the timeline, calling out the Carolina offense, going back to his right. Now comes left of the circle. Drops it off to Popson. Now it's back to Smith. Brad Doherty at the high post. Jordan down low. Perkins is out of the lineup at the moment. Matt Doherty holds it on the right. He'll come with his dribble with Jerry Reynolds on him to the left of the circle. Drops it off to Jordan. Jordan faking Tudor. Won't drive. Now he comes to the lane. Takes the 15-foot jump shot. No good. Tudor with the rebound in the lane. Outlet comes to Taylor. Reynolds was coming in on the left. He couldn't hit him. Taylor will take the jump shot. No good. Popson tapped it. Couldn't control it. It'll be LSU's ball. The ball boys get out and very quickly go to work on the wet spots at the south end of the Carmichael Auditorium. 6:43 to play in the half. Don't forget Simon Terrell and Charlie Adams with Henry Hinton at halftime, and I'll be visiting with some former Carolina players. Here's the feed. Nice one to Reynolds. Reverse layup is good. 27-25 LSU. The feed was by Nikita Wilson, who has come back in the ball game. He started, went out, and is back in now. 6'8" freshman. Here's Smith giving up to Matt Doherty. Doherty looked for Popson cutting underneath, couldn't get him the ball. Now Smith comes to the left of the circle, back to Matt Doherty it goes. LSU really clogging the middle. Carolina having a tough time getting the ball inside. Popson works against Leonard Mitchell, gives it to Jordan. Jordan faking, won't go through, holds it high, drops it to Matt Doherty. He feeds now to Brad Doherty, comes to Popson, jump shot, 15 feet, rimmed out, wouldn't go, and Tudor's got the rebound. Carolina gets one shot, and that's it, with Perkins out of the game. Sam's at the scorer's table, however, getting ready to come back. Taylor from Smith across the top of the circle, breaks his dribble now on the left. High lob to Reynolds for the one-handed stuff. 29-25.
Woody Reynolds has scored the last 12 points in a row for LSU. He's a streak player. He's been like that all year, and he's dangerous, very, very dangerous when he gets like this. And you can see what's happening to the Tar Heels right now with Reynolds playing so well.
He had 14 a year ago at the Meadowlands. He's already got 15 here in the first half. Brad Doherty at the right wing for Carolina. The Heels go down by 4. This game's seesawing. Here's Matt Doherty coming foul line. Taken away by Derek Taylor. Doherty will try to catch him, but Taylor will lay it up good. 31-25, and LSU is shot back in front by 6 after having its earlier 5-point lead whittled away. 5:15 to play in the half. Smith across the timeline. Goes to Popson. Popson will go to the baseline. Feeds to Brad Doherty. Doherty on the fake. He traveled with it. That turns it over. Sam Perkins re-enters the Carolina lineup. Popson will come out. Cecil Exum is in. Matt Doherty is out. Carolina's now turned the ball over 9 times in the first half. Joe Wolf is coming back, and Brad Doherty will get a rest. So the Carolina lineup has Smith and Jordan out front. In the front line is Sam Perkins, Joe Wolf, and Cecil Exum. Leonard Mitchell is out of the lineup now, and Damon Vance, I believe, has come back for LSU. So the LSU lineup now has got Derek Taylor, John Tudor, Jerry Reynolds, Nikita Wilson, and Damon Vance. High post is Reynolds. Gets the Carolina zone, over to Taylor. Taylor comes baseline, back to Reynolds. Reynolds has got the hot hand at the moment. He feeds Vance. Vance back to Reynolds, to Tudor. Tudor faking Jordan, can't get through. Now sends it back to Taylor. Jump shot, left corner, good! By Derek Taylor. He's got 6, and it's 33-25. Carolina trails by 8. Across the timeline comes Kenny Smith. Smith bounce pass away to Exum, working against Reynolds. Comes now to Smith. Smith inside to Perkins. Sam turns. He's fouled by Damon Vance. That'll be number 2 on the Vallejo, California freshman, who measures out at 6'10", and it will be also the 6th team foul against LSU. For the most part, Woody, what's happening to Carolina? They're getting caught up in LSU streaks. We talked about them being a streaky team. They have streaky players. Now they have scored 10 unanswered points. Sam Perkins has a chance to cut that streak off right now, but at a couple of times here, Carolina has gone 3-4 minutes without scoring a basket, and they're having to play catch-up. LSU, a very streaky team, and Carolina's getting caught up in their game plan right now. Sam Perkins at the free throw line with 2 shots. First one coming up, and it's good. 33-26. The current streak that both teams are in, LSU has hit its last 4 shots from the field, now 15 of 32. Carolina's missed its last 5, now 12 of 25 from the field. 4:24 showing on the first half clock. Perkins taking a lot of time, ready on the next one, and this one's good also. 33-26. Perkins now with 6, Doherty 6, Jordan 6, Smith 5. The scoring for Carolina is balanced, whereas Reynolds with 15 leads LSU, 6 for Tudor and 6 for Taylor. It's Taylor who gets it front court for the Tigers. Carolina in the 1-3-1 point zone. Tudor holds at the right wing, comes to Reynolds at the high post. Now over to Taylor. Bounces it low to Mitchell, almost lost it. Joe Wolf on it, puts it back to Tudor. Feeds low to Wilson, shots up, no good. Jordan with a rebound. Here come the Heels on the run. Can get within 4. Matt Doherty coming down in the right corner. Breaks his dribble, back to Jordan. Now to Wolf, top of the circle. Had a notion, didn't take it. Whistle, foul, Nikita Wilson of LSU. He was holding Sam Perkins. Wilson will pick up his first personal foul. It's the 7th team foul. So the Heels go to the bonus as Dale Brown walks his LSU bench and summons help. And help will come in the form, he hopes, of Don Redden, the 6'6 sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana. Thus far at the foul line today, Carolina is 3 of 3. LSU 3 of 3 as a team. Brad Doherty also back for the Tar Heels. Wolf is out. 3:56 showing. You hear the ball bouncing. Sam taking his own time as he usually does, but the results, good. 7 points now for Perkins, who came into the game as Carolina's 6th all-time leading scorer, 2nd leading rebounder. He's got a chance to be one of only 5 players in ACC history to have more than 2,000 points and more than 1,000 rebounds in his career. Next one is up and good. 8 points now and an official timeout taken at Carmichael Auditorium in Chapel Hill. So a timeout on the floor. 3:56 to play in the half. The score, LSU 33, Carolina 29. Auditorium, where there is some diagram going on in front of one of the benches, and it's Dale Brown of LSU, and the gentleman he's talking with, you talk about experience, that assistant coach, Tex Winter, who's now talking to Don Redden before he goes back out on the floor, has been in coaching 36 years. He was through at Long Beach State, had really retired, gone into fundraising, and Dale Brown got him to come out of coaching. He was Bill Guthridge's college coach at Kansas State. Been at a number of schools, Marquette, Kansas State, Washington, Northwestern, and Long Beach. Brings a lot of experience to LSU. Tigers with the ball in the corner for LSU. It is Red. He gives it back to Tudor. Carolina in the zone now to Taylor. Taylor drives baseline. Shot is no good. Jordan has the rebound. He was behind Red and took it away to Matt Doherty coming down on the right. Doherty into the lane. Dumps it to Brad Doherty. Should have taken the shot from 10 feet. Tried to feed Doherty. Turns it over to LSU. Off to Red. Thought he walked with it, but no whistle, but it's stolen by Jordan to Kenny Smith. Back to Matt Doherty. Layup is no good, but Perkins is there to recover and score. Sam Perkins Perkins was the perfect safety valve that time on the break. 33-31. Now the heels have gone back in a little spurt. 2:55 left to play in the half. Reynolds to Tudor on the right. Carolina in the what looks like a 2-3, then it's going to 1-3. Redden off the glass, no good. And the foul's on Brad Daugherty, and it'll be his third. Brad Daugherty will have to come out now. Joe Wolf will have to come in to replace him for the final 2:46 of the half as Daugherty picks up his third personal foul.
This really has been a game of streaks. Now Carolina has shot out with a 6-point surge here where LSU has not scored in the last 2 minutes. Carolina previously 4 minutes without scoring in one stretch, 3 minutes in another, and LSU now with a chance to cut off Carolina's unanswered point total at 6 here with Redden making his first free throw.
Well, the rebounding totals at the moment, Carolina 19, LSU 11, and 10 of those 19 rebounds belong to Sam Perkins. Redden has made it 34-31. He can stretch the LSU lead back to 5 and does. He's an 83% shooter, has now made 43 of 51 on the year. 35-31, 2:40 to play in the half. Matt Daugherty to Smith, inside to Perkins, in the lane, he's fouled, and the foul's going to be on Leonard Mitchell. Don Ferguson's coming out to make the call. Leonard Mitchell picks up his second personal foul, and Sam Perkins, who has made 4 of Carolina's 5 free throws, will go to the line again, where he is a perfect 4 of 4. Dean Smith, flanked by Bill Guthridge and Eddie Fogler. Looking on as the Latham, New York senior, who says he'd really like to say he's from Brooklyn. I think Sam is taking up residence again in his native Brooklyn. The free throw is no good. Went in, you heard it rattle around, and it fell out the front. 35-31, 2:35 left to play in the half. Sam with a lot of left-handed dribbles. Now the free throw, and this one's on the mark. 35-32. Perkins now 5 of 6.
And Sam has scored 7 of Carolina's, he scored Carolina's last 7 points.
He's talking to Joe Wolf defensively, who's at the back end of the 1-3-1 to give him a few pointers. The players say it's amazing what Perkins will tell them during timeouts, coming away from the bench during timeouts, that helps them. Here's Taylor, lobbing to Mitchell, turns in the lane, blocked, Perkins, recovered Red. He told Mitchell that time, don't you shoot that thing over me again. Taylor in the corner to Reynolds. Now it comes back to Taylor. Redden with a 20-foot jump shot. No good. Perkins with another rebound. Give him some Windex. He's up there long enough to clean the board. Hale goes down in the left corner. Drops it back to Smith. Ball thrown away. Kenny couldn't save it before it went into the backcourt. Kenny tried to tell Don Rutledge that the ball was deflected into the backcourt, but Carolina turns it over. That's 11 turnovers in the first half for the Tar Heels. The Tigers have committed 7. Dale Brown making sure his players report at the scorer's table. And it is Damon Vance returning to the lineup, replacing Leonard Mitchell. Suter will inbound the ball right in front of the scorer's table. Gets it in to Derek Taylor. 1:50 to go in the half. 35-32 LSU. Reynolds away to Taylor on the left. Now it comes to Redden. Top of the circle. Heels in the 1-3-1. Really packed in. To Vance. He lost control. Recovered. Back to Taylor. Comes to Tudor now. Top of the circle. Tudor will have Hale move out on him as the teams, as the Tar Heels match up a bit in this zone. Now the zone is almost showing 2-1-2 as LSU has it on the right side. That's to Tudor out front. Now back to Taylor. High lob. Tried the dunk. It wouldn't go. They tap it around. And it's knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to Carolina, says referee Don Rutledge. 35-32. Boy, they were playing in the stratosphere on that one. Kenny Smith on the left side to Hale at the wing on the left. Steve puts it to the floor 3 times, breaks his dribble, looks in the middle, goes to Wolf, now back to Smith, over to Matt Daugherty. They're looking for Perkins, who's roaming the baseline. Hale now on the left side. LSU back in the zone now. Matchup zone. Comes to Matt Daugherty on the left side with less than a minute to go in the first half. Matt Daugherty delivers it to Kenny Smith. Kenny bounces it back to Matt Daugherty. Shovels it away to Perkins. Perkins can't get the shot off. Goes to Kenny Smith to Steve Hale. He fakes. Baseline shot. No good. Tapped up. No good. They struggle for it, and it'll belong still to Carolina. Carolina getting a break here at the baseline as the ball was knocked out of bounds.
Shot clock got down to 11 seconds that time before Steve Hale pulled the trigger with it. That's about as low as we've seen Carolina let it run down recently.
Stays on to the very end of the half. Joe Wolf in the lane. Caught the inbounds pass from Kenny Smith. Went right up from 10 feet and knocked it in. 35-34. The LSU lead is only one. My goodness, I feel like we've done about 4 games in the first half the way these teams have played. LSU backing into the midcourt area now. The Carolina coaching staff on its feet, talking to the defense now. Tudor coming down on the left to Reynolds. LSU now back to Tudor at the hash mark. LSU would probably like to wait on one shot. Here's Redden in the lane, laid it up, wouldn't go, tapped up, no good. Perkins has got the rebound, went out of bounds off Redden. 7 seconds to play in the half. Carolina will get the last shot and a chance to go to the dressing room up by 1. LSU's defense, except for Taylor, getting back. Inbounds to Kenny Smith. 6-5. Here's Smith on the drive. He takes the jump shot. No good. Rebounded by Tudor. We get a whistle and the foul's on Hale as we end the half. Steve Hale commits the personal foul, so Tudor will get a chance to go to the line. Hale took it all the way down, penetrating. So Steve Hale goes to the line, or rather, John Tudor will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1 after the second foul on Steve Hale. There'll be nobody on the lane, and sometimes that's tougher than it is to shoot when there's a lot of distractions. What do you know, the rap on LSU, we were talking earlier about how they played out of control, except for the first 5 minutes of the ball game. They've played very much under control today. I think it's been the key of this ball game. Neil Brown's team has played a very poised ball game here in the first half. No arms waving, but a lot of noise, but Tudor, oblivious to that, knocks it in. He's got 7. 36-34. LSU can go to the dressing room up by 3. Tudor now with 7. He'll have a chance to get 8. No time showing on the clock. This one is good, and so LSU will go to the dressing room ahead by 4.
But for you, there's someone else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you.
All right, the blinking light on the scoreboard here is that they're 7 for 7 LSU, and they only shoot 68%, so that's remarkable. The other thing that kind of sticks my eye here is that the 11 turnovers by North Carolina, surprisingly, they're putting the pressure on LSU, and they have more LSU.
And Perkins had exactly 1/2, or almost a half of those, 12 rebounds for Sam Perkins. 37-34, our halftime score from Chapel Hill as we get set to go, and it is Carolina with possession of the basketball, and the white-shirted Tar Heels will move to the south goal. Alley-oop to Brad Daugherty, caught it against the glass but couldn't control it. Nikita Wilson comes away with it for the Heels. In the first half, Carolina with 11 turnovers, LSU with 7. That was a big factor. LSU leading by 3, 37-34. The gold-shirted Tigers going to the north goal here in the final 20 minutes of play. Taylor, Nikita Wilson, back it comes to Taylor. Carolina man-to-man defense. Smith on Taylor. Daugherty has Reynolds. Perkins on Leonard Mitchell. Jump shot is no good. They battle for it. Nikita Wilson and Perkins, and it's Perkins who comes up with it to Smith. Smith will take it to the middle. Bounce pass away to Jordan. He'll drive, go baseline. Double scoop. Both go. Fouls on Jerry Reynolds, and it's his second. First team foul against LSU in the second half.
Both teams a little bit on the offensive board. LSU's offensive board looking a little bit flat-footed, Woody, coming out of the dressing room after a very intense first half. We talked a lot about fatigue factor in this ball game. You know, Carolina just played yesterday, Friday night for LSU. In the second half, we'll have to see. It could have a lot to do with stamina. Who will take this one home?
Henry, it would wear us out, but these guys are young. They can do it. Jordan is up with a free throw, and it's good. Michael now with 7 points. That's his first free throw of the day. He started the game, Carolina's 13th all-time leading scorer, just 15 points behind Dennis Wysick. Next one is good as well. 37-36, the Heels have pulled within 1. Double team in the backcourt. Taylor got it to Reynolds. He gets it across the timeline. Daugherty trying to catch up. Reynolds from 10 feet, good. 39-36 as Jerry Reynolds gets his 17th point of the game. Michael Jordan going to the other end, faking, feeds Matt Daugherty. Comes to Perkins. Kenny Smith calling for the ball in the right corner. Gets it. He's open. Shots on his way. Good. 39-38. The LSU lead is 1. Smith saw the opening coming, knew he was wide open, was howling for the ball, and Sam Perkins found him open. Taylor crossed the timeline. Smith and Perkins double team him near the time stripe. Got it cross court to Tudor. Tudor drives left to the lane, breaks his dribble, looking for help, gets it out front now to Reynolds. Reynolds calling Derek Taylor to him. The point guard takes the pass. Now will circle across the top of the lane. Comes now back to the top of the foul circle. Needs some help. Got to get rid of it. Finally got it to Reynolds. The Carolina defense looks like it's bothering LSU here at the outset. The Tigers seem almost unsure of themselves. Here's Reynolds trying to get free, faking up with a shot. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound by Jordan. Carolina with a chance to retake the lead. Just over 18 minutes to play in the half. Kenny Smith coming down on the left. He'll back to the sideline. Now gives it to Perkins. Over to Matt Doherty. He's open. Great. Brad Doherty screen. Shot's no good. Rebounded by Reynolds. Matt Doherty in the first half of play for Carolina with 3 of 6 from the field. Here's Tudor driving to the baseline. Breaks his dribble. Bounces it along the end line. Threw it out of bounds. 39-38. LSU's first turnover. Now Dale Brown wants his number 2 defense. Dean Smith up talking to his offense now. Matt Doherty going by. I think he just told Matt, continue to take that open shot if it's there. Kenny Smith wants the number 5 offense now for the Heels as LSU's gone back to the zone. Alley-oop to Jordan. Layup good. He caught it left side. Had to come to the floor. Went away to the right and knocked it in for his 10th point. 40-39 Carolina. Boy, this has been some basketball game. Reynolds for the dunk. Brad Doherty couldn't get there in time. Nice pass as Reynolds got open on the weak side of the Carolina defense, and LSU's offense did a terrific job of spotting it. 41-40. Don Redden is back in the ball game for the Tigers from Baton Rouge. He's a 6'6 sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana. Nikita Wilson will sit down. LSU goes with a smaller lineup now, but it is a lineup that is extremely quick. I think the quickest Carolina's seen this year. Matt Doherty, sideline to Jordan, deep in the left corner. Back to the top of the circle to Smith. Now to Doherty. Fakes the pass to Perkins. One dribble to get him open. Here's Jordan. 10 feet off the glass. Perkins, one hand to rebound, and slams it. Great day in the morning. 42-41. Shuffle pass to Reynolds. Knocked away. Personal foul, Matt Doherty. Matt Doherty picks up his first personal foul. It'll be the first team foul of the second half against the Tar Heels. And referee Don Rutledge says it will be 2 shots coming.
Both teams playing very, very good basketball out of the chute here, Woody, in the second half, and both teams playing under control. You know, Carolina jumped out to the early lead in the first half because LSU really didn't have control of their tempo, and now both teams playing extremely good basketball. I think we're in for a heck of a second half here.
Jerry Reynolds, who's gone 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 3 at the line, is back at the stripe with 2 shots. His first shot would tie it at 42, and it's good. He's now got 20 points in the ball game. Came in averaging 12.9, 7.6 rebounds. He was shooting only 53% at the line coming into today's game, 41 of 77, but he's showing good work at the line because he's made 4 in a row. He's got a chance to break the tie. Doesn't. Missed that one. Knocked away. Rebounded. Red. Reverse layup. No good. Perkins with a rebound. His high game this year in rebounds, 15 against Fordham. He's already got 14 unofficially in this ball game. Here's Smith to Perkins. Top of the circle. Carolina trying to break a 42-all tie. Jordan drives. Feeds low to Brad Doherty. Tried to go up for the shot, and a 3-second violation is called by John Ferguson.
Well, he said Sam was set up in the lane, Woody. Brad Doherty on the other side of the lane, and they're trying to move the ball down low, and Sam looked down and looked where his foot was. He might have been posting up down there, not realizing that his foot was on the blue lane.
16:35 left to play in the ball game as Brad Doherty comes out and Joe Wolf goes in. Carolina's gone to the 1-3-1 zone. Pass to Taylor, jump shot, 20 feet, good. Derek Taylor gets his 4th field goal of the game. He's been in double figures 14 of 15 games, but only averaged 8 points into aggravating a groin injury a few games ago. LSU back on top, 44-42. Kenny Smith going into the right corner. Feeds it back to Matt Doherty. Now to Michael Jordan. He's to the foul line. Kenny Smith pushes it away to Doherty. Goes low now to Perkins. Perkins double team trying to give it right back. Will now have to come up the baseline on his own dribble. Works to the right sideline. Goes to Kenny Smith. Now goes back to the low post. Matt Doherty has it in the right corner. One dribble, then to Michael Jordan. Jordan will come right of the lane. Feeds it cross court to Kenny Smith. Jump shot. Went in, popped out. Rebounded by Reynolds. Outlet to Redden. 3-on-2 break for the Tigers. Taylor back to Redden. Redden spins away. Blocked. Matt Doherty out of bounds. It'll be LSU's ball. 44-42, the Tigers lead. 15-42 to play in the ball game, and these teams are going to sit down and talk about what's left.
Son, the streak player we talked about very early in the ball game, Reynolds, has just continued to play extremely well. 17 points for him have come in the last, say, 15 minutes of the ball game, and that includes, of course, the last 10 minutes of the first half. And Reynolds is really doing it right now. 19 points in the ball games, and he is only averaging just about 13 in the game.
Henry, we're talking about the points per possession, figuring it very quickly as best I can. It shows me that the Tar Heels played excellent defense in the first half, as LSU had .770, but the Tar Heels lacked something offensively. Carolina was only .75 in the first half, and the shooting percentage reflects that. LSU will inbound the ball in a 2-point lead, 44-42 with just under 16 minutes to go to Taylor. Double team coming. Back it goes to Tudor deep in the left corner. Now comes back to Taylor. Taylor will work to the top of the circle. Carolina back in the 1-3-1 zone. Tudor over to Taylor. Taylor will move right of the circle. Gives it up now to Redden. Jump shot out of the right corner. Good. 46-42 as Don Redden knocks in his second field goal of the game. Down it comes to Matt Doherty. Doherty looked low for Joe Wolf. Couldn't get him the ball. Smith to Perkins. Now to Jordan. Jordan turns over Tudor. Shoots. Won't go. Tapped and saved by LSU. Looked for a moment as if Reynolds might have stepped out of bounds, but it goes to Taylor. Now to Mitchell. Jump shot over Joe Wolf. 48-42. LSU goes back in front by 6, and that's 4 points for Leonard Mitchell. Kenny Smith working to the right as the Heels are working at the south goal here in the final 20 minutes of play. Kenny Smith right inside to Perkins. Sam turns up for the soft jumper. No good. Wolf is there and he gets fouled. Foul has been called on either Redden or Mitchell. Coming out to make the call is Don Ferguson, and it's going to be, I believe, on Don Redden. It'll be his second team foul against the Tigers, and Carolina will get the ball at the baseline. Brad Doherty is going back in, replacing Joe Wolf. The fans are booing because they thought there should have been shots on the play. They thought Joe Wolf got fouled in the act of shooting. And I think Dean Smith was asking referee Don Rutledge the same thing. Kenny Smith will inbound the ball, gets it out in the midcourt area to Matt Doherty. Doherty holds high, will give it back to Smith on the left. Alley-oop to Jordan for the slam dunk. Ooh. Good description, Henry. Boy, that had enough velocity to light a fire. 48-44. Carolina back within 4. Here's Taylor down the left side, gives it up to Redden. Redden will drive the baseline. Perkins is there, but Redden scooped it up and in. Actually hooked it up and in as he went by. And Carolina comes to the other end. We get a whistle and a foul is called on John Tudor of LSU, bumping Matt Doherty. 50-44 the score. Carolina trailing by 6. The foul on Tudor becomes his first, and it's the third team foul.
You know, the dunk on the alley-oop was a beautiful dunk by Michael Jordan, but give Kenny Smith the credit for getting him the ball there. Just an absolutely perfect picture book dunk on the alley-oop from Smith to Michael Jordan.
Matt Doherty looking low, can't find anybody. Backs to the hash mark on the left, gives it to Perkins now down the sideline. Sam fakes the cross-court pass to Doherty, now to Smith to Jordan, threw it right through his hands, intercepted by Mitchell for LSU. Mitchell will take it front court on the right. 14 minutes left to play in the ball game. Here's Taylor on the drive, pushes up a jump shot that's no good. Jordan comes down with it, gets it to Smith. Smith coming down against Tudor, lays it up, good. Tudor didn't try to stop him. Kenny Smith took it in for his 9th point, 50-46. The LSU lead is 4. Across the timeline comes Derek Taylor for the Tigers of Dale Brown. Crowd trying to be a factor once again. Tudor to Redden, bounced it low to Mitchell, knocked away, slapped out to Reynolds out front. Comes down to Taylor on the left, to Mitchell. Smith underneath him. Mitchell takes the jump shot and scores. 52-46. Mitchell's hit 2 in a row. Carolina coming the other way. Jordan on the drive, takes it all the way, lays it up, and a blocking foul is called on Mitchell. Of those type plays, All-Americans are made.
Well, you talked about it yesterday in the Georgia Tech game. Sometimes it looks like Michael gets that look in his eyes like, I'm just going to take control of this ball game and turn things our way. And the last couple of times down court, that's exactly the way he looked. He drove through the middle that time and got there plenty of time before the defensive player was able to set up. The player actually slid under him, and so Jordan has a chance to make a three-pointer here.
52-48, make it 52-49. Jordan now with 15. Perkins with 13. They lead the Tar Heels scoring. Tudor on the inbounds play. He's got 5 seconds. Beat the time to Redden. He gets a nice bounce pass to Taylor. Coming down on the right to Mitchell. Jump shot over Brad Doherty. No good. Jordan with a rebound. Here comes Michael. Across the timeline. Looping lead pass to Smith on the right. To Jordan. Breaking down the lane for the dunk. Great pass. Kenny Smith to the wide open Michael Jordan. Dale Brown says, I can't wait on television. I need a timeout. Now. 13 minutes to play in the ball game. Timeout on the floor. The score, LSU 51. Carolina 51. It's been like this since we left. LSU still got the lead, but Carolina has closed within one. And it's been M.Jordan who has wiped out all but one of LSU's latest 6-point lead.
Woody, I got a quote for you from Dale Brown. He says, quote, "We're used to playing in hostile arenas. The Southeastern Conference play prepares you for hostile arenas. But I got to tell you something, if he's been in any more hostile than this one is right now for his Tigers, boy, he's been playing in some bad places because Carmichael Auditorium has just turned into a bear for the Tigers."
LSU may indeed hold on. The Tigers are an excellent team, but right now, Dale Brown called that timeout to stop North Carolina's momentum. Carolina with pressure in the backcourt as we return to play. Taylor against Kenny Smith across the timeline. You hear the students down below us. To Mitchell, top of the circle. Mitchell looking for some help. He'll take the jump shot, misses. Rebounded by Reynolds. He'll go right back with it and sticks it. 54-51. Jerry Reynolds now with 22 points. Lead to Doherty coming down on the left. Now it goes to Kenny Smith. Crowd quiets a bit after the Mitchell bucket with 12:35 to play. Jordan on the right. Now comes to Matt Doherty. Doherty looking for Jordan. Can't get it to him. To Smith. Now to Perkins. Perkins looking inside for Brad Doherty. Now Perkins starts to roll to the baseline. Goes to Jordan. Jordan holds high over to Kenny Smith. Smith will come baseline. Takes the shot. No good. And the foul's on Taylor. Foul to the act of shooting. Kenny Smith will go to the line as Derek Taylor collects his second personal foul. That'll be the fourth of the half on the Tigers.
Tar Heels shooting 58% here in the second half. They're 7 for 12. 3 for 3 from the line for the Tar Heels. LSU, on the other hand, 8 for 14. About 55% from the floor. 1 for 2 from the line. And the Carolina holds a slight 7-4 rebounding edge on LSU just here in the second half, Woody.
Kenny Smith, who made one free throw in the first half to complete a three-point play at the stripe. Free throw. Good. Used up all of that rim before it went home to glory. 54-52. 10 points now for Smith, which matches the average for the 6'2 freshman out of Archbishop Malloy High School in Queens, New York. Next one, good. 54-53. Again, the LSU lead is only one. Taylor gets Kenny Smith. Michael Jordan coming on the double team. Taylor across the timeline. Cross court it goes. Caught by Mitchell. Made a nice catch to Reynolds. Blocked. Jordan. They whistle the foul on Jordan. Boy, up top, he got all ball. If he got him, it was with the body down low, because up top for everybody in the building to see, there was nothing but ball. And Jordan's body looked to be moving away from him rather than in. I don't think the officials thought, hey, ain't no way that guy can make that play without fouling him. He did. Reynolds' free throw is cleanly through. High arcing free throw. The foul on Jordan, by the way, Carolina's second team foul. His third with 12:07. Buzz Peterson's gone in the ball game now for Jordan. Damon Vance will have another shot coming. And this one is no good. Perkins one-hands the rebound. 5-53. Carolina with a chance to tie. Smith goes low to Brad Doherty. Doherty had it knocked out of his hands. Recovered LSU. Dean Smith wanted a foul. Long pass to Mitchell. He caught it. Came down. Turned. Shoots. It won't go. Brad Doherty with an aggressive rebound at the other end. Smith to Peterson. Buzz pulls up. Goes to Perkins. Off the glass. The score is tied. Perkins at the low post. Buzz looked like he was going to take the jumper. He fed it low. Listen to this crowd come alive again. 11:34 to play in the ball game. Tudor at the right wing for LSU. To Reynolds. Now to Taylor. Gives it off to Vance. Now it goes to Tudor. Jump shot. 20 feet. Missed it. Perkins with a rebound. Carolina with a chance to lead with 11:20 to go. Smith to Matt Doherty. Look low for Brad Doherty. Bounce pass to him, and Vance fouled him. It'll be number 3 on the Vallejo, California freshman. 11-14 showing. That's only the 5th team foul, however, against LSU. 6th team foul, I beg your pardon, so the Heels get the ball out of bounds.
Tar Heels have continued to keep Leonard Mitchell out of the ball game. He only had 2 points. He's probably the best athlete on the team. Only 2 points in the first half, 4 points in the second half.
Brad Doherty fights for position, scores! 57-55, Carolina has the lead. Taylor to Tudor. Right wing, Buzz Peterson on him defensively. Taylor will drive. The big guys are there. Off the glass, no good. Followed by Reynolds is good. Great D. What a move by Reynolds. Soared through the air on the right side, caught it and jammed it. 57-57, and the crowd respects that because it quietens down. It first said, ooh, wow. The board got quiet, though. Whistle off the ball. Foul is on Nikita Wilson, who's back in the ball game. He was holding Perkins off the ball. So that'll be the 7th team foul against LSU, and the Heels will go to the bonus for the final 10 minutes and 42 seconds of play. Sam Perkins, who made 5 of 6 in the first half, has 15 points in this game, will be at the line. Boy, has he gotten a bushel basket of rebounds today. Crowd grows quiet, and you hear Sam dribbling the ball with that left hand as he gets ready to go. It's on its way. Good. 16 points for Sam Perkins, 58-57, Carolina leading. Carolina has only 2 team fouls in the second half, LSU 7. Peterson is out. Good stint of work by the Asheville junior. Jordan comes back in. Clark Kent just sat down and Superman came out of the phone booth. Here's the next shot. Good. 59-57. Inbound, knocked away, stolen Doherty. Doherty beats Kenny Smith, reverse layup, got it. 61-57. Dale Brown tells his Tigers settle down. 10:25 to go. Taylor to Tudor. Carolina 1-3-1 zone. Taylor on the left side to Tudor. Now to Reynolds on the right. Cross court to Taylor on the left. Had a notion, didn't fire. Vance, Tudor, jump shot, 25 feet, got it. Tudor with 10.
Big basket by Tudor. Carolina had gotten that one and come back down court and scored. Woody, they had a chance to break this thing open.
61-59, Carolina by 2. Kenny Smith acknowledging something. Somebody told him Jordan won it. He got hit on the arm by Tudor. That's number 2 on the Pineville, Louisiana senior. Jordan will go to the line with 2 shots as Don Rett re-enters the LSU lineup. 9:57 to go in the ball game. Jordan, who has made 3 of 3, all coming here in the second half, has in this ball game with his 17 points moved into 12th place on Carolina's all-time scoring list, ahead of Dennis Weissing. 61-59. Jordan ready. Up. Good. 62-59. Hot Rod Hundley used to say, a gentle push, a mild arc, and the cowhide spear hits home. Jordan ready on the next one. This one's off the front of the rim. It had enough to get it to go down. Went off the front of the rim, bounced around to the back, and fell through the cord. 63-59. Reynolds as Carolina drops back defensively to Mitchell for the dunk. 63-61. LSU getting a transition basket there from Leonard Mitchell for his 8th point. LSU keeps the heat on Carolina. Heels leading by only 2. They've been down, however, here in this half by as many as 6. Kenny Smith, top of the circle. Back to Matt Doherty. Doherty looking inside, takes one dribble, gives it to Jordan, baseline, through the air, double clutched it. Kenny Smith, 20 feet, a little too strong. They battle for it. Jordan is there, reverse layup is good. He was on the right side underneath the goal, and he put it back up and in. 65-61. 9:15 left to play in the ball game. Tudor to Taylor. Taylor bounces low to Mitchell at the left. Double team. Mitchell in trouble. Scooped it up. It won't go. They battle for it. Doherty's got it. Perkins and Brad Doherty knocked it away. Matt Doherty came away with it. Matt Doherty coming down. Pulls up. Top of the circle. Gets it to Perkins in the midcourt area to Kenny Smith. Tar Heels have now got a chance to stretch the lead to 6. 65-61 with 8:50 to go. Cross court to Jordan. Jordan to Kenny Smith. Threw it by him. Kenny will run it down near the timeline. Bounces it inside the hash mark to Doherty. Doherty spins around. Bounce pass to Smith. Top of the circle. Alley. Well, I thought he was going alley-oop. He didn't. Brad Doherty. Michael Jordan. Jump shot. 25 feet. Off the front of the rim. Matt Doherty's got it. Puts it up off the glass. Jordan one-handed it on the dump. 67-61. Dale Brown tells Jerry Reynolds, you have got to get back. Stop that, Jerry. Jerry says, and get hurt? You kidding me? 67-61. Shot from well out, no good. Reynolds on the rebound, spins, baseline, up for the shot and scores. Jerry Reynolds now with 26 points. Michael Jordan, by the way, has got 23. 67-63. The Carolina lead is 4 with 8 minutes to play. Perkins top of the circle. What a basketball game this has been. Doherty over on the right side. Cross-court it goes to Jordan. Jordan starts to work the baseline on the left. Won't go through to Kenny Smith. He will penetrate. Dumps to Matt Doherty. Open for the jumper. You've used the glass. Good. 69-63. 7:45 to play in the ball game. Taylor across the timeline. The gold-shirted Eagles of Dale Brown going to the north goal. White-shirted Tar Heels of Dean Smith, 1-3-1. Nice pass by Tudor. Away to Leonard Mitchell for the layup for his 10th point, 69-65. The Tigers continue to hang tough. Carolina spreads its offense out a bit. Not the four corners, just spreading it out. Here's Matt Doherty on the right side. Perkins is at the high post. Jordan's working the baseline. Now to Matt Doherty. 10 feet, tried to get it to Jordan. Knocked away. Jordan recovers. Moves in. He'll use the glass. Good!
Woody, Michael Jordan's feet haven't touched the ground since he came out for halftime. He's playing well above the rim on every play.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. They've up-leaped tall buildings at a single bound. He can do it all. Redden out of the right corner. Drives baseline. Double team. Pass back to Reynolds. Reynolds on the drive. Through. Off the glass. Good. And he's fouled by Sam Perkins. It'll be a chance for the LSU three-point play as Perkins picks up his second foul. Third team foul on Carolina. And Jerry Reynolds, who's doing it all for the Tigers at the other end, now has 28 points to his credit, and he'll have a chance for his second three-point play of the day. Reynolds is 12 of 15, 4 of 5 at the line. His high game thus far this season has been the one he's playing today. His previous high had been 26 points against Pan American. 71-67. A year ago, he only scored 14 points. Goodness, he was better than that at halftime today. Reynolds ready on the free throw. It's good. So that's 29 points for Jerry Reynolds, and an official timeout's been called in Carmichael Auditorium. Timeout on the floor. 6:45 to play in the game. With the score, Carolina 71, LSU 68. Apple Hill 71-68. The Heels lead it with 6:45 to play.
Carolina 36 rebounds, LSU 23. Sam Perkins was 17. And Woody, I believe that equals his career high. Is that right?
It does. Against Oklahoma a year ago in the Rainbow Classic out in Honolulu.
Michael Jordan also with 9 rebounds. Shooting in the second half. Carolina red hot, 15 for 22, 68%, 9 for 9 from the line. LSU 14 for 26, 54. And Jerry Reynolds continues to be hot, 29 points, Woody. He's really been keeping LSU in this ball game.
Jordan and Doherty getting a blow right now on the Tar Heel bench as Joe Wolf is into the lineup with Buzz Peterson. 6:45 to play. LSU will pressure in the backcourt. Wolf's got 5 seconds to get it in. Got it to Perkins. Now it comes back to Wolf. They get it to Kenny Smith. LSU will try to bother him to Joe Wolf. Wolf across the timeline. Breaks his dribble. Now gives it to Smith. 71-68. Kenny wants to run the number 1 offense. Off to Buzz Peterson. Peterson with a jump shot. No good. Whistle. Foul is on John Tudor, and that will be number 3 on Tudor. All coming here in the second half. Wolf is out. Brad Doherty returns after catching his breath. To the line, Buzz Peterson. Buzz shooting 82% at the line this year. He's 9 of 11. He's been in a bit of a slump recently from the floor. Steve Hale out of Jinx, Oklahoma is in the lineup now, replacing Matt Doherty. 2 shots coming for the Asheville, North Carolina junior. Came into the game averaging 3.5 points a game. The star of the LSU victory a year ago when he went 9 of 9 in the second half. Good. You heard it use up some rim. Buzz is back to the stripe again. 72-68. He can move the Heels back in front by 5. Here's his next free throw. Good. Peterson is coming out now, and Jordan is coming back in. Coaching staff and senior manager David Hart as David brings him a towel and the water bottle. Says, way to go, Buzzy. 73-68. 6:20 to play. Taylor, Carolina back in the 1-3-1 zone. Tudor top of the circle. Now to Taylor. Taylor driving, scoops it up off the glass. No good. Brad Doherty with a rebound. protects it, holds it high like he's been taught to do and is doing so effectively this year. 5-point Carolina lead. Smith in the midcourt area against Taylor. LSU really tightening up now defensively in the man-to-man. Brad Daugherty, top of the circle. Kenny Smith, backdoor, knocked away Tudor. He can't make the save as he goes into the first row of seats over in the southeast corner of the arena. Coming back, and they applaud his hustle. John Tudor.
Tudor really piled into that group of fans over there. I thought somebody might come away hurt. You know, Woody, the pace of this ball game in the second half, you think when one of the players comes out, he'd want to take a chance to sit down and take a blow. Just a moment ago when Matt Daugherty came out and LSU was down on the offensive end of the floor, he was standing up like he was playing defense, telling his teammates to get their hands up and keep moving on defense.
73-68, Steve Hale controlling, drops it off to Kenny Smith. Carolina now is LSU coming out to double team out of the zone. Now to Jordan. Jordan gives it back to Kenny. Kenny will drive in the lane, drops it back to Michael. Michael will come right of the lane now, gets it cross court to Steve Hale. They drop off Steve. Somebody hollered shoot, but Steve doesn't try to. Got to get rid of the ball. Got it to Brad Daugherty. Cut back out front. Shot clock's down to 3. Jordan will fire. Got it! Woo! What does the old Jerry Reed song say? Boy, when you're hot, you're hot. 75-68. Shot clock was running down to 3. Carolina had to shoot. The bench was coming up. Tudor counters at the other end for LSU. 12, 75-70. Carolina, 5 minutes to play. Jordan fumbles it at the wing, recovers, gets it to Smith. Kenny Smith backing up outside now. LSU's got another fresh guard in to chase him. That's Dennis Brown. Brad Daugherty against Reynolds. Got to get rid of it. Puts it to the floor. Breaks his dribble now. Has it knocked away. Smith recovers. Puts it to Jordan. He lays it up off the glass. Good. What a pass. Kenny Smith to Michael Jordan. Jordan now with 29 points. That's his season tie, bettering the 28 he had against UT Chattanooga. Tudor, top of the circle. 77-7. Stolen Kenny Smith. Tudor will try to stop him. Smith couldn't make the dunk. The foul's on Tudor at this fourth. And Jordan went after Tudor for a moment. The officials backed Michael up. The officials say they have it. Dale Brown has gone down, and I think he wants something called on Michael Jordan. Now Tudor and Jordan are saying okay. It was just the heat of the moment that got to both of them. Tudor was trying to stop the Kenny Smith layup, caught him. Kenny went down. Kenny was coming in, angling in from the right. Tudor caught him up under the neck to try to foul him. I don't think Tudor meant to do that. He knocks him down, and Jordan, in the heat of the moment, went after Tudor.
Well, you know, Woody, the angle at which Kenny Smith was going at the basket, it was a little bit of a dangerous angle to try to do that one-handed dunk like he was trying to do. And I think Tudor was doing his job trying to make the foul to keep him from getting there. But there was just no way that either one of those guys is going to come out of that without a little bit of getting hurt. And Kenny Smith's very lucky because his feet never hit the floor. I think he actually might have come down on one of his elbows.
He's holding a towel to the lower part of his jaw now as he goes to the bench. We've got an official timeout in Chapel Hill. 4:27 to play in the game. Timeout on the floor. The score, Carolina 77, LSU 70. I hope when this one's over, somebody who's got a videotape of this invites me to their house for some of their social hospitality and to look at this one again. I'm telling you what, these two teams have gone at it tooth and toenail, as they used to say in the country.
Woody, right now, Carolina's 17 of 24, 71% in the ball game. LSU 15 for 28, 54%. But Michael Jordan has just taken over this ball game in the second half. I don't know how many points do we say he had just a moment ago. He had something like 19 in the second half, I believe, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got 29 for the game, and he's got 23 in the second half. And Kenny Smith will be at the foul line.
Carolina's hit 14 of their last 17 shots. Out of their last 17 shots, they're shooting 82%, and that's why they're up by 7 now with a chance to increase it to 9.
Oh, wait a minute. They've called a double foul. They apparently called a foul against Carolina.
A flagrant foul on number 20, Derek St. John Tudor.
Technical foul on Michael Jordan, a flagrant foul on John Tudor. Kenny Smith misses the first one. He'll have another shot coming. This one is up, and it's good. Smith now with 14 points. That matches his season high here in his freshman year. Kenny Smith driving in. The crowd still booing it. His left arm, Tudor's left arm, went up underneath the chin and across the chest of Kenny, knocking him to the floor. And they're taking Michael Jordan out of the lineup now. The technical foul is on Jordan. Taylor will shoot one. And that's good for Derek Taylor. Taylor now with 9 points in the ball game. And let's see, normally in a situation like this, if there'd be a jump ball, Dean Smith says, shouldn't there be a jump ball? Says no, they're going to give it to LSU. Inbounds to Reynolds, pushing foul called on Perkins. 78-71 is the score. Still 4:25 left to go. That's the third on Perkins, the fourth team foul, and LSU will get the ball out of bounds.
Woody, this would be a situation, I think, where it would be a false double foul, would it not? And it's possible that the team that had the arrow pointing their way would have gotten the ball. I'm not sure about that.
Well, that could have happened. The light is actually on the front of the table, so we can't tell which way the arrow was pointing. May very well have been, Henry. Here's Taylor. Jump shot, top of the circle. No good. They battle for the rebound. Loose. Matt Doherty's got it. Got to have some help. Gets it to Steve Hale, who's in the ball game. 4 minutes left to go in the ball game, and Dean Smith is calling for 4 quarters. Kenny Smith says, "I'll see you, Coach, as soon as I get it across this stripe." Now Kenny Smith goes over to the bench. He's flashed the tired signal. I think he needs some relief. Dean Smith may take a timeout here in a moment. He's gone to the scorer's table, where Jordan is getting ready to go back. Now it's Matt Doherty on the left wing. 3:40 to go. I'll watch that clock for you.
How many timeouts we got left?
That's the voice of Dale Brown in the background. You heard him tell Brown, if we get the ball, let's call timeout. Steve Hale, he's fouled by Derek Taylor. Jordan will come into the lineup now for Carolina, replacing Kenny Smith, who flashed the tired signal. And for LSU, Dennis Brown, the 6'1 freshman out of Baton Rouge, is in the game. And now Dale Brown wants to use his timeout. So he's apparently got 2 left. Now he'll have just 1. Timeout on the 2:45 to play. So Carolina's got Perkins, Peterson, Brad Doherty, Matt Doherty, and Michael Jordan. Perkins drops it into Buzz Peterson. 2-on-1 break. Peterson will take it to the middle. No sign of going to the hoop with it. 2:40 to go. Peterson turns, comes back through the double team, breaks his dribble. High lob back to Jordan. Doherty going to the middle, hollering for the ball. Here's Jordan trying to pull the string on Anthony Wilson. Now gives it to Perkins. Perkins faking it to Doherty, right back to Jordan. 2:25 to play. Boy, if this gets in a one-on-one situation, Jordan will take it to the basket. If he draws the defense to him, it could be a thunderous slam coming in the other side from like Perkins or Doherty. Here's Sam going to the hole. Shot knocked out of his hand. Whistle, and the foul is on Leonard Mitchell of LSU. It'll be his 4th. Perkins will go to the line with 2. Idea of the 4 corners. Henry, as we've said so often, and our audience now surely knows after all of these years, either draw the foul or get the layup, and Perkins drew the foul.
I think Sam Perkins heard what you said, Woody, because as soon as you were talking about a thunderous slam, he had that twinkle in his eye, and he was driving for the basket, but he was fouled and have a chance to make a couple.
Sam with 17 points in the ball game. He's made 7 of 8 at the line today. Up. Good. 18 points. It's 82-71. Carolina by 11. Tar Heels, I don't think, had led by more than 6 at any time in this ball game until this latest little surge. Here's Perkins. It's good. 83-71. Sam now with 19 points. We'll be going to the dressing room after the game for the comments of Coach Dean Smith. We'll also try to get Dale Brown's comment. We'll also try to get through, I'm sure, a record media turnout here this Sunday afternoon, with this being the only show in town, to talk to Michael Jordan. Wilson goes low now to Reynolds. Reynolds has been relatively quiet of late. To Mitchell, scoops it up good. Leonard Mitchell now with 12, 10 of which have come here in the second half. 83-73 with 1:45 to go. Brad Doherty to Sam Perkins, pushes it ahead to Steve Hale. Hale coming down into the lane, turns around and is fouled by Jones. That'll be Johnny Jones, who's in the lineup at guard. Derek Taylor getting ready to come back. Jones picks up his 2nd personal foul, and Steve Hale will go to the line to shoot 1-1 as we're 98 seconds from having this one in the scorebook.
Carolina's shot to 6 free throws since they've gone to 4 corners. and they've hit 13 of the last 16 free throws for the game. The Heels are 23 of 26 from the stripe.
This free throw tapped outside by Jordan. Now it comes back to Perkins. Well, if you ask him to, he'll do a little bit of everything, I guess. Brad Daugherty. Foul by Jerry Reynolds, and that will be 3 on Reynolds. And Brad Daugherty will go to the line. 83-73. Brad Daugherty with a couple of field goals today and 4 attempts. This will be his first trip to the line. He checks his motion with a little flick of the right wrist. Black Mountain, North Carolina sophomore, averaging 10 points a game, almost 6 rebounds. Pushes it up. Good. 84-73. On the right side of the lane, Leonard Mitchell and Michael were moving into the lane, and that was the footprints of Michael Jordan. You heard making tracks along the baseline there a moment ago as he went around, circled around. They come back to take position. Here they go into the lane, but the free throw is good. 85-73 with a 12-point lead with a minute and a half to play. Jones to Taylor. Jump shot. Right corner. Good by Derek Taylor. LSU with 1 timeout left. Doesn't use it yet. That's 11 points. 85-75. Hale in the double team to Matt Daugherty. Nice catch of the ball in front of the scorer's table. Had to turn, come back, and catch it. Here's Matt Daugherty to Steve Hale. Reynolds on him in the double team. Ball knocked away. Hale recovers. We got a whistle, and the foul is called on Jones. Johnny Jones commits the personal foul, and Dale Brown simply waves his hand at Don Ferguson, the official, as if to say, that's not very good.
We're 10 points behind.
That's Dale Brown now talking to Don Rutledge, the referee. That's Dale Brown saying Jordan not getting thrown out of the game was... He's telling Don Rutledge, I'll show you on the playback. Hale's free throw is good. Jerry Brown, our engineer, got microphones everywhere, and that's why you're able to eavesdrop.
I've got to go with what I got.
He said he didn't. I got to go with what I got. Dale Brown said, who'd you ask? Did you evidently ask somebody wearing blue and white? Why don't you ask somebody wearing yellow and purple? And Don Rutledge says, Dale, I never have liked those colors. 87-75. No, he didn't say that, really. Peterson away with it. Coming down the left side. Gets it back out to Jordan. We're under a minute. 50 seconds to go. 87-75. Daugherty to Jordan, who works against Wilson. On the drive comes Jordan. Puts it away to Brad Daugherty for the net. He's fouled. What a pass by Michael Jordan to Brad Daugherty for the slam dunk. He drew the foul.
What have you seen Michael Jordan play? A lot more than I have. This is by far the best half I've ever seen. Is this his best game in your opinion?
Henry, I don't know. That's a tough question. I thought the game he played in the national finals in 1982 was pretty darn good.
I tell you, he's done it all this half. He's done defense. He's played well above the rim. Sam Perkins comes out. Dave popped it going in. That's the crowd screaming for Sam.
Sam waving his hand up in the air when he came out. That foul a moment ago. On I think Jones is his fourth. Exum's going in to replace Daugherty. Now Jordan is coming out. Listen to this. Michael Jordan will lead with 29, 9 of 12.